Your heart stops. Monitors fall silent. No more pulse. No more breath. You're gone. At least, according to the machines. But deep inside your skull, something stirs. Electricity. Activity. Memory. Your brain doesn't surrender that easily. And over the next 10 minutes, it's going to perform the most mysterious, beautiful, and maybe even terrifying shutdown sequence in human biology. This isn't science fiction. This is your brain dying. The moment your heart stops pumping, your entire body starts to shut down. But your brain? It kicks into overdrive. It has about 3 minutes of oxygen left. That's all. And in that short window, it enters a frenzy of activity. Neurons begin firing in erratic, massive bursts. Not because they're alive and well, but because they're panicking. Your brain is trying to reboot your body, restart the heart, reconnect the circuit. But there's no signal and no return. This is called cerebral hyperactivity, and it's been confirmed by EEG scans of patients who were clinically dead. Think of it like a power grid short-circuiting before it blacks out. Vision is one of the first senses to go. Your occipital lobe, the part of your brain that interprets light, begins to shut down. And this is when many people report a tunnel vision, a bright light, or even floating above their body. But it's not just visual distortion. Your brain is releasing a massive surge of DMT, a powerful hallucinogen stored in the pineal gland. This chemical is believed to generate ultra-vivid dream states, and in this case, your final one. Researchers believe the brain does this to soften the landing. You're dying, but your consciousness is taking one last ride. This is the moment when people report seeing their life flash before their eyes. But what's really happening? As oxygen continues to drop, the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, begins to lose structure. But before it collapses completely, it releases stored memories in a chaotic, unfiltered stream. It's like your entire identity is trying to be processed in one final, desperate burst. Childhood birthdays, the face of your mother, moments you forgot decades ago, all rushing in. This is what neuroscientists call autobiographical memory replay, and it's likely one of the last things you ever experience. In 2018, doctors in a Canadian ICU noticed something bizarre. A patient had died, flatlined. And yet, their EEG monitor showed gamma wave activity, even 10 minutes after death. Gamma waves are associated with consciousness, attention, and memory processing. This wasn't a blip. It was a structured, rhythmic pattern. Why would a dead brain behave as if it were alive? No one knows. But it challenges the idea that death is instant. It suggests that the brain may enter a strange twilight phase, not alive, not dead, just lingering. Thousands of near-death survivors report eerily similar things: a white light, floating above their body, hearing doctors talk, being pulled back, just before the darkness. And here's the strange part. Many of them described conversations and objects in the room that were later confirmed by medical staff. They weren't breathing. They had no heartbeat. But they remembered. Some scientists call it residual awareness. Others suggest something far more controversial. That consciousness may not reside entirely in the brain. Quantum biologists have even proposed that consciousness could be a field, like gravity or magnetism, interacting with the brain, but not born from it. If true, then death may just disconnect you from the physical body, not from existence. At around the 9-minute mark, the brain's systems begin irreversible damage. Cells begin to break apart. Proteins denature. the architecture collapses. It is, for all intents and purposes, the end. But some religious traditions, like Tibetan Buddhism, believe the consciousness lingers for 49 days before moving on. Others, like ancient Egyptian beliefs, suggest a weighing of the soul in the moments after death. Science can't measure that. But what it can tell us is this: death is not a switch. It's a slow, terrifying, and beautiful unraveling. One where your brain fights until the very last spark. So what really happens when we die? Do we dream one last time? Do we fade into nothingness? Or do we take one final step into something else? The truth is layered. The science is evolving. And the mystery still unsolved. This is the hidden layer, where we go deeper. One question at a time.